Evening has settled softly across the quiet street. The sky above has turned a deep, velvety blue, with slow stains of purple along the horizon, like watercolor fading into night. The air is cooler now, gentler against the skin, and the noises of the day have grown distant, like a radio turned down in another room. Ahead, a small wooden sign hangs above a doorway, swaying just a little in the breeze. It gives a soft, familiar creak each time the air moves, a slow, wooden sigh that seems to mark the passing of time. The sound is easy and unhurried, a tiny rhythm at the edge of the evening. Paper lanterns are strung along the doorway, glowing like small, patient moons. Their light is warm and golden, steady and kind, casting a soft halo around the entrance. The lanterns do not ask anything. They simply shine, inviting without words. Behind you, the city lingers, but only as a faint echo now. You can sense the distant hum of traffic, a faraway murmur that no longer feels close. The sharpness of the day has eased, its edges blurring, as if the world itself is ready to rest. With each slow, easy breath, the street feels a little quieter. The sky grows deeper, more peaceful, as the last traces of daylight sink away. You are standing at the gentle border between the world of doing and the world of simply being. The wooden sign creaks again, and it almost feels like a soft greeting. A reminder that this place has been here all along, waiting in its own time, steady and unchanged. The lantern light brushes lightly across your face, a fragile warmth, like the glow of a candle held nearby. You notice how your shoulders begin to loosen, how the air around this doorway feels different from the street behind. Here, the pace slows. Here, the night is not something to hurry through, but something to rest inside. As you step closer, the sounds of the city slide a little further away. The distant horns, the chatter, the footsteps on busy sidewalks fade into something almost imaginary. And in their place, new sounds rise gently to meet you. You hear the faint clink of porcelain from somewhere within. Soft, careful movements. The quiet rustle of fabric. The almost silent whisper of someone walking slowly across a wooden floor. Even without seeing, there is a sense of care, of intention in each small sound. Warm light spills from the doorway, pooling onto the threshold and the street just beyond. It feels like standing near a small hearth, safe and contained, while night deepens just outside. You are still at the edge, still between worlds, but something in you has already begun to step inside. The paper lanterns sway again in the breeze, their light shifting gently over the simple wooden door. You notice the small details now, the grain of the wood, worn smooth by many hands. The handle looks cool to the touch, solid and reassuring. This is a door that has opened and closed 1,000 quiet evenings, each one like this. You pause here for a breath, in and out, feeling the air move in your chest, feeling your body respond with a slow, grateful ease. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is expected. With the next breath, you let one more piece of the day fall away. A stray thought, a worry, a leftover fragment of conversation. It can stay on the street among the fading city sounds, growing smaller and softer behind you. Your hand meets the door, and it gives beneath your touch with an easy, gentle weight. The hinges move with a low, comforting murmur, as if they too are relaxed. Warm air drifts toward you from inside, carrying a faint, familiar scent of tea leaves and something sweet like toasted rice or honey. Crossing the threshold, the world outside feels as though it loosens its grip on you. The city hum is behind closed wood now, muted and far away. In its place is a hush, not empty, but full of soft presence. The quiet here has depth, like a still pond at dusk. The light inside is low and golden, reaching out to meet you like a gentle embrace. Shadows are smooth and soft at the edges, nothing sharp or demanding. The room is neither too bright nor too dim, but exactly what evening light should be. Kind, steady, and calm. You sense the smooth wood beneath your feet, cool and firm, grounding you with every step. The faint aroma of steeping tea wraps around you, warm and soothing, moving in slow curls through the room. It carries hints of earth and flowers, and something roasted and comforting, like bread just out of the oven. From deeper within the tea house, someone shifts, then turns toward you. The movements are unhurried, graceful in their slowness. A soft rustle of cloth, the gentle tap of a cup set down on a tray. All of it woven into the fabric of this quiet evening. Then comes a greeting. Not loud, not formal, just a warm, simple welcome spoken in a low, relaxed voice, as if the person has been expecting you in the most natural way. In those few words, you feel it. Nothing is required of you here. Their eyes hold the same warmth as the lanterns outside. There is no rush in their manner, no push toward conversation or decision. Only an easy acceptance, as if your presence adds a small, pleasant note to a song that was already peaceful. You sense, without needing to think about it, that this is a place where time moves differently, where minutes glide instead of ticking, where breathing comes easier and the body can finally stop pretending to be alert when it is tired. The person gestures softly toward the room, inviting you to come further in at your own pace. The small motion says more than words. It tells you that you are free to rest, to sit, to simply be here without any role or task. The evening belongs to you now in the gentlest way. You take another slow breath, and as your chest rises and falls, you feel how the quiet of this space begins to match the quiet you are finding inside. The day on the other side of the door becomes like a distant picture, edges blurred, colors softer. Here, in the warm glow of the tea house, the present moment is simple. Just light and air, and the soft company of another human presence that asks for nothing. A faint clink of teaware reaches you again, almost musical in its delicacy. Water is poured somewhere out of sight, and you hear the subtle stream, the gentle swirl as it meets waiting leaves. The sound is slow and steady, like a small waterfall that has learned to whisper. You notice how your breath has begun to follow the rhythm of this place. Inhale, and your chest opens to the warm, fragrant air. Exhale, and your body eases a little more, like a coat being slipped from your shoulders after a long day. The tension that once seemed necessary now feels optional, and quietly you choose to set it down. The person who greeted you moves with unspoken care, each step quiet on the wooden floor. They are nearby without crowding, present without pressing. Their calm infuses the room, like tea slowly colouring clear water. You feel yourself soaking in that calm without effort. Lantern light from outside filters in through the doorway behind you, but it no longer feels like the border between worlds. Now it feels like a gentle reminder that you have crossed into a softer rhythm. The street is out there, the city is out there, still moving, still alive. But here, inside, you are sheltered from its urgency. You become aware of the simple comfort of standing, breathing, and allowing the evening to hold you. Thoughts may come and go, but they are quieter now, like guests speaking in low voices from another corner of the room. They do not disturb the stillness at your center. In this small tea house with its creaking sign outside and lanterns glowing like small moons, you are wrapped in the hush of night. The air is smooth, the sounds are soft, the light is tender on your skin. A sense of safety begins to settle in, like a blanket being drawn up slowly and carefully. Nothing here needs to be solved or fixed. Nothing needs to be achieved. Your only task is to let yourself be present in this gentle space where warmth meets quiet and where evening has finally learned to rest. The person who welcomed you moves once more, a quiet shape in the golden light, and you know that soon a place will be prepared for you to sit, to cradle a warm cup, to let your body sink into stillness. For now, it is enough simply to stand inside this calm room, breathing the soft air, feeling time stretch out around you. The door behind you stays closed, the outside world held at a kind, respectful distance. Inside, the tea house holds you with its quiet, with its warmth, with its steady, unspoken promise that here, in this moment, you are allowed to slow down completely, to rest into the silence, and to drift deeper into the gentle, peaceful evening. Slipping off the day, the first touch of warmth meets you at the door. It is quiet here, not the sharp quiet of an empty room, but a soft, living quiet. A quiet that seems to breathe with you in and out, slow and gentle. Just inside, the air is a little warmer. You can sense the faint fragrance of tea and polished wood. Light settles softly on the floor, and the sounds of the outside world begin to fall away, as if they were being set down, one by one, behind you. You pause for a moment in this small space of arrival. The day still clings to your shoulders, to your hands, to your feet. You can feel it in the weight of your shoes, in the pull of your clothing, in the way your body holds itself a little tighter than it needs to. Here, you are invited to slow, to make each small movement its own gentle ritual. No rush, no need to hurry to the next thing. Only this simple act of arriving. Your gaze drifts down to your feet. You become aware of them again, enclosed and a little tired, carrying every step you have taken today. They have done so much. You reach for one shoe, feeling the familiar movement, but this time you let it be slower. You notice the way your fingers move, the way the material yields the small sigh of air as the shoe loosens around your foot. As your heel slips free, a ribbon of relief unwinds from the bottom of your leg, all the way up through your calf. Your toes spread a little grateful, breathing as they meet the open air. Then the other foot. Another gentle twist, another soft pull. The second shoe comes away, and with it a little more of the day. You set both shoes aside with care, as though you are placing down a small burden you no longer need to carry. Now, your bare feet hover for a moment above the floor. You can almost feel its cool smoothness waiting. When they finally settle down, the contact is simple and soothing. Wood, warm from the day, meets skin that is ready to rest. The floor feels firm and dependable beneath you. It supports you without effort. The grain is smooth, a faint silky texture under your toes, reminding you that you are here in this one safe spot with nowhere else to be. As you stand there, barefoot, your body begins to understand that it can soften. The muscles in your legs loosen. Your knees release a little. Your weight spreads more evenly across the soles of your feet, as if the floor were quietly saying, "I have you." Your hands rise toward the weight on your shoulders. Perhaps it is a coat or a jacket or a bag that has pressed into your side all day. You notice how your shoulders lift to hold it, how your neck tightens just a little to help. Fingers find the fabric, the strap, the zipper, and you start to release it. Slowly, you feel the shift in balance as the weight begins to slide away. The material slips down your arms, and in that motion, your muscles sigh with gratitude. You hang the coat or set the bag down and pay attention to the moment your hands let go. That small letting go is its own kind of exhale. The object rests quietly where you placed it, and your body no longer has to hold it up. Notice how your shoulders respond. They drop a little. The space around your collarbones widens. Even the breath in your chest grows softer, no longer pushing against the pressure of the day. You run a light hand along your clothing, loosening what can be loosened. Perhaps a scarf unwinds from around your neck, drawing away the last tight circle of the outside world. Perhaps a button is slipped free, a belt released just a notch, a waistband eased so your belly can expand without restraint. Each tiny adjustment is a quiet kindness. Your body understands these gestures and answers in its own language. A deeper breath, a small shiver of release down your back, the slow unfurling of muscles that have been held for too long. The tea house seems to receive all of this without a word. Its walls, its floor, its soft corners have watched many people arrive, each one bringing their own day, their own stories, their own quiet weight. You look out over the room, not searching, just noticing. There is a gentle hum of stillness here, cushions resting along the walls, low tables waiting, pockets of calm like small pools of shade on a summer afternoon. One corner calls to you more than the others. You do not need to know why. Perhaps it is the way the light falls there, or the sense of shelter it offers a little removed from the center of the room. You begin to walk toward it, bare feet whispering against the floor. With each step, your connection to the ground grows steadier. You can feel the quiet rhythm of your body's movement, the gentle sway of hips, the easy roll of your feet. As you walk, the traces of the day start to blur at the edges. The conversations, the tasks, the screens, the rushing. They seem a little farther away now, like voices heard from the other side of a closed door. They no longer ask anything of you. Reaching your chosen corner, you allow yourself to arrive fully. A cushion waits, calm and patient. You turn, lower yourself slowly, feeling the bend of your knees, the stretching of your back, the quiet, careful way your body settles down toward rest. When you sit, the support rises up to meet you. The cushion shapes itself to your weight without resistance. Your hips sink in just enough. Your legs find a natural, comfortable angle. Your spine lengthens, then softens, as if relieved to be held. You take a moment to notice your hands. They have been busy all day, reaching, typing, carrying, doing. Now they can simply rest. Perhaps you place them loosely in your lap or let them fall gently to your sides. Feel the warmth in your palms, the stillness in your fingers. No more tasks waiting for them. Just quiet, just the gentle presence of your own body settling into ease. The muscles along your back begin to unclench, inch by inch. Your shoulder blades slide down, finding a more natural place. The back of your neck lengthens, your chin softening so your jaw does not need to grip. You might notice tiny remnants of tension here and there, a slight tightness in the brow, a hint of clenching in the teeth, a faint curl in the fingers or toes. Nothing to fix, only small places to soften your awareness around. As attention rests, there, these tight spots start to unwind on their own, like knots easing in warm water. Your mouth settles, lips resting gently. The space between your eyebrows smooths. Even the muscles around your eyes grow heavy and calm. The tea house seems to lean in closer now, not with any effort, but in the way a quiet room wraps itself around someone who is ready to rest. The air holds you. The floor holds you. The cushion holds you. You do not need to hold yourself up quite so much anymore. Breath flows in and out, unforced and natural. With each exhale, something small and unseen slips away. A thought, a worry, a leftover fragment of the day. They drift out and dissolve into the gentle stillness around you. In this soft corner, the world becomes very simple. Wood beneath you, air around you, warmth brushing over your skin, the quiet sound of your own breathing, steady and kind. You may notice how much space there is inside you now. Where tension once pressed in, there is room. Room for breath to move, for the heart to beat in its own unhurried rhythm, for the mind to grow quieter, less crowded, more at ease. The day has been slipping from your shoulders, piece by piece, with every shoe removed, every layer set aside, every step that brought you to this resting place. What remains is this gentle, present moment, simple and clear. Nothing asks anything of you here. Nothing pulls at your attention. You are allowed to be exactly as you are, with no need to perform, no need to plan, no need to prepare for what comes next. Just this soft arrival, just this calm corner in a small tea house, bare feet on smooth wood, body held in comfort, breath moving slowly, easily, as everything within you grows quieter and quieter, settling into a deep, quiet stillness, like evening light fading gently across the floor. The air inside the tea house feels even softer now, quieter, as though the walls themselves are holding their breath in a kind and gentle way. You stand just inside the room for a moment, not in any hurry at all. Warmth wraps around you, easy and welcoming. The quiet murmur of distant voices has faded to a soft hush, more like a memory than a sound. You can sense that this is a place made for lingering, not for rushing. Ahead, the interior opens like a calm, sheltered world. Low tables rest close to the polished floor, each one surrounded by cushions that seem to invite you closer. Lanterns and candles cast small pools of golden light, spreading out in soft halos, then fading into shadow. The whole space glows gently, like late evening, just after the sun has slipped away. You begin to wander, slow and unhurried. Your steps are quiet, almost floating over the smooth floor. As you pass by each table, you notice the tiny details that give the room its warmth. A clay teapot resting on a wooden tray, a folded cloth napkin, a single flower leaning lazily in a small vase. Everywhere you look, there are places to pause and settle. Here, a cluster of cushions in deep, restful colours. There, a narrow bench lined with soft woven blankets. Each spot has its own mood, its own little pocket of peace. You do not have to choose quickly. You have all the time you need. You walk past a table where someone left a teacup turned slightly on its saucer, as though they stepped away for only a moment. The faint scent of tea hangs in the air around it, light and comforting. For a second, you imagine the warmth that cup once held, the steam that curled up and vanished into the calm of the room. Everything here seems to remember quiet, patient moments. The floor beneath you feels steady and reassuring. Every slow step settles you a little more deeply into the present. Your shoulders loosen. Your breath moves more softly, more naturally, without any effort at all. You are simply drifting through a space that understands rest. Off to one side, you notice a tucked-away nook, half-framed by a low wooden screen. The lantern light doesn't reach it fully. It only brushes the edges, leaving the center in a gentle, dim glow. Cushions are scattered there like soft clouds, piled and leaning into one another. Something in you feels drawn closer, as if this corner has been waiting. You move toward it, taking in the way the wooden screen curves slightly, sheltering the space. The shadows here are kind, never heavy. They wrap around the cushions, making them feel even more inviting. You can almost sense the hush deepening as you step inside. A low table sits in the middle of the nook, its surface worn smooth by many resting hands. As you reach out, your fingertips trace the fine grain of the polished wood. The touch is cool at first, then slowly warms beneath your skin. Each small line and pattern in the wood feels steady and grounding, like gentle, quiet paths leading you inward. You lower yourself onto a cushion, feeling the soft give of fabric beneath you. The cushion sighs a little as you settle, reshaping itself to hold your weight. Another cushion supports your back, cradling you in a way that feels almost thoughtful, as if someone arranged it just for you. Your body begins to understand that it does not need to hold itself up so firmly anymore. You shift gently, making small, easy adjustments. The cushions rustle in a soft whisper, cloth brushing against cloth. Every movement sends a quiet wave of comfort through your muscles. Soon, you find a position that feels exactly right, where nothing strains and nothing presses too much. Around you, the light is low and warm. A candle flickers nearby on the edge of the table, its flames steady, its glow gathered close. The light spills across the wood, across the curve of your hand, then fades into the soft shadows around you. In this little pool of warmth, the world feels smaller, closer, and very safe. Further out in the tea house, sounds have grown distant. A faint clink of porcelain, a soft step across the floor, a quiet murmur rising and falling like a faraway tide. None of it reaches deeply into your corner. Here, everything is hushed and gentle. You become aware of how the cushions hold you from all sides, one against your back, one under your legs, another just under your arm, ready to gather any remaining tension and let it soften. It feels as if this corner is wrapping around you, forming a private little nest of fabric and warmth. As you rest here, time begins to loosen its grip. Moments stretch out quietly, like long, easy breaths. You no longer feel that anything needs to happen next. There is no plan, no schedule, nothing you must prepare for. Only this soft place and this gentle stillness. Your hand drifts again to the wooden table at your side. The surface is smooth, easy to rest against. You feel the steady, grounded presence of it beneath your fingertips. Just knowing it is there, solid and calm, brings a sense of being anchored, even as your mind begins to drift. Above you, the faint glow of a lantern reaches down in a soft veil of light. It does not ask for attention. It simply offers a quiet comfort, like someone sitting nearby, peaceful and unhurried. Shadows gather gently in the corners of the nook, making the space feel smaller in the best possible way, like being wrapped in a loose, warm blanket. Here, in this little corner, you do not need to be anything other than exactly as you are. You are not expected to speak, or decide, or understand. The room holds you without asking for anything in return. You are allowed to rest without explanation, without effort. Your breath moves in and out, slow and easy. With each exhale, something inside you lets go, almost without you noticing. Thoughts that once seemed important begin to pass by more softly, like clouds drifting across a quiet evening sky. You watch them from a distance, from the safety of your cushions and candlelight. The rustle of the fabric against your skin becomes steady and familiar. You can feel the weave of the cushion beneath your fingertips, soft but textured, giving you something gentle to sense and return to. The more you notice these small, kind details, the more the outside world fades into a soft blur. Only this corner feels real now, and it is more than enough. You sink a little deeper into the cushion at your back, letting it take your weight fully. Your body knows how to relax here, as if it has been here many times before. Muscles soften along your neck, across your shoulders, down through your arms. Everything has permission to loosen and grow heavy, supported by the quiet strength of this space. The tea house around you feels like a slow, steady heartbeat in the background. Soft sounds, soft light, soft shadows, all of it blending into a single, gentle presence that surrounds you, but never crowds you. In this quiet corner, you have found a place that feels completely your own, private yet not lonely, sheltered yet open enough to breathe easily. Every detail, from the grain of the wood beneath your hand to the way the candlelight pools at your side, seems to whisper that you belong here. Nothing is asked of you. Nothing is expected. The only task in this moment is to rest, to feel yourself held by cushions and shadow and warm, patient light. You are safe to simply be exactly as you are in this soft and quiet nook. As you linger, the sense of being cradled grows stronger. The cushions feel like gentle arms around you. The hush of the room feels like a soft lullaby without words. Time thins out, stretching into a calm, unbroken line. Here, in your own small corner of the tea house, you are fully settled, steady, held. The world narrows to the slow rhythm of your breath, the touch of fabric and wood, the dim golden glow around you, and everything else falls away into quiet, easy stillness. The room is quiet now, soft light, still air, the gentle hush that comes just before something comforting begins. Somewhere close by, A kettle rests, warm and ready. The world outside feels far away, as if it has moved to a softer distance. Here, time slows, and even the smallest sound feels tender and kind. Listen for the first tiny movement. A faint touch of ceramic on wood, the quiet shift of a cup being drawn closer. The sound is delicate, almost shy, like a whisper meant only for you. It is the sound of care beginning to take shape. The cup waits, empty for now, its surface cool, its colour calm and gentle, perhaps a soft cream, or pale green, or a warm, earthy brown. It is simple and steady, made to fit easily between your hands, made to hold warmth for you. The kettle is lifted with a slow, easy motion. You hear the faint scrape of its base leaving the stand. A soft exhale of steam escapes, a quiet breath into the room. Warmth begins to move closer. Now comes the first small pour. The spout tilts just enough, and you hear the delicate rush of water begin. Not loud, not sharp, but smooth and steady, like a tiny waterfall hidden in this gentle space. The sound wraps around you, pouring calm into the moment. Water meets the waiting leaves. A soft hiss, a muted swirl, the quiet music of the first contact. The leaves loosen and open, giving themselves to the water, little by little. The whole room seems to lean in, listening. Steam begins to rise, slow and curling. It moves like a soft breath, almost invisible, yet deeply felt, carrying with it the first hints of scent. A promise reaching toward you. Maybe it is jasmine tonight, light and floral like a garden at dusk, petals opening to the soft air. Or perhaps chamomile, gentle and soothing, like a warm blanket woven from fields and sunlight. It might even be roasted barley, nutty and deep, with a quiet, toasty warmth that settles low and steady inside the chest. Choose whichever feels right without needing words. Let that aroma drift toward you, gentle and patient. It arrives on the rising steam, curling through the space between you and the cup. Each breath draws it a little closer, a little clearer. The pour continues, slow and unhurried. You hear the shifting tone of the water as the cup fills, the pitch deepening, softening, as if the sound itself is resting. Nothing is rushed. Every second is a small gift of quiet attention. The kettle is set down again with a faint, careful touch. No clatter, only a soft landing that barely disturbs the air. Silence returns, but it is a warmer silence now, a silence scented with tea and comfort. Before any sip is taken, the cup is left to sit for a moment. The tea settles, the leaves rest. Steam rises in gentle waves, rolling upward, then fading into the quiet room. This pause is part of the care. Now imagine your hands reaching toward the cup, fingers meeting the smooth curve of the handle or wrapping right around the warm sides. The ceramic is hot, but not too hot. just the right warmth to ease its way through your skin, through your palms, and deeper inside. Feel the shape of the cup, solid and supportive. Notice how naturally it fits between your hands, as though it was always meant to be held by you in this moment. The warmth gathers in your palms, then begins to spread. First into your fingers, then up along your wrists, like a gentle stream of heat. Lift the cup slowly. The small weight of it feels reassuring, steady and real. Bring it a little closer, stopping before you drink. This is the moment before the first sip, where everything is possible and nothing is hurried. Close to your face now, the steam brushes your skin. Soft, barely there touches of warmth across your cheeks, the tip of your nose, your lips. As you breathe in, the scent arrives more fully. Jasmine, or chamomile, or roasted barley, whichever you chose without trying. Inhale gently. Let the fragrance drift down through you. Notice how your chest responds, maybe with the slightest release, a softening that you do not have to force. Muscles ease, like knots slowly loosening in warm water. With each breath, the steam seems to carry a quiet message of safety, of being looked after, of someone, somewhere, pouring this tea just for you. Every tiny sound and movement, a small act of care. Feel how the warmth in your hands begins to move inward, from your palms into your wrists, up your arms, into your shoulders, flowing softly toward the center of your chest. Imagine that warmth gathering there in the space behind your ribs. Gentle, glowing, not too bright, just a steady, comforting glow. Any tightness there is acknowledged without judgment. And then, slowly, that tightness begins to soften under the warmth, as if it is being gently held and soothed. You do not need to do anything to make this happen. The simple act of holding the cup, of breathing the steam, is enough. You are not required to fix or change anything. You are only invited to receive. Listen again to the quiet room around you, the faintest creak of wood as you shift a little, the soft brush of fabric as your shoulders relax down. The world is still, but it feels a little kinder now. Hold the cup a little closer to your chest without rushing. Notice how, as you do, your breathing finds a slower, easier pace. In, with the warm fragrance. Out, with anything that feels heavy or sharp, drifting away on the exhale. In this simple moment, nothing else is needed. Just the cup, the steam, the warmth in your hands, the steady rhythm of your breath. Each inhale draws in comfort. Each exhale lets something go. Tiny, quiet movements of ease. If thoughts wander, they can do so in the background, like distant sounds outside a closed window. They do not need to be chased away. Just bring your attention back to the cup resting in your hands, to the way it holds its warmth for you, to the soft, fragrant steam rising and brushing past your face. Imagine that with every breath, a little more warmth flows outward from your chest, down through your stomach, softening any tightness there, across your back, easing the small muscles along your spine, into your shoulders, letting them grow heavier, more relaxed. The warmth reaches your neck, your jaw, the small muscles around your eyes. Everything invited to loosen, just a little. Not forced, not demanded, simply allowed. Like steam fading slowly into the air. The tea waits patiently. There is no urgency to drink, no expectation. The comfort is already here, in the holding, in the breathing, in the tiny sounds that brought it into being. Every part of this quiet ritual is for you. Let your fingers rest more fully around the cup now. Feel the steady heat it continues to offer. Know, in a simple, wordless way, that you are being cared for in this moment. That comfort can be as small and as real as this warm cup in your hands. Stay here as long as you like, breathing in the gentle scent, breathing out into the soft, calm air. Held by the warmth you cradle and by the quiet that settles all around, growing deeper and softer and still. Steam rises slowly from the surface of the cup, soft, pale threads of warmth that lift and curl in the dim, quiet air. Each wisp moves at its own gentle pace, unfolding, turning, thinning, until it melts into the space around you and disappears. For a moment, attention rests right there, on that soft, slow movement, the way the steam dances without sound, light and unhurried, almost like a thought that is already beginning to fade. Breath moves in a similar way, easy, unforced, arriving and leaving, the way the steam rises and drifts away. You do not have to change it. Just notice how it comes and how it goes. As you breathe in, the warm scent of the tea reaches you again, gentle and familiar. It wraps around you like a soft scarf laid lightly across your shoulders, comforting, steady, present but never heavy. The aroma has its own layers, a quiet sweetness, a hint of earth or flowers or spice. Whatever it is, it moves toward you with each inhale, then loosens and fades with each exhale, like steam dissolving into the air. The room settles into a deeper hush. Sounds grow softer at the edges. The faint clink of porcelain somewhere far away in the tea house. A low murmur of voices, blurred and distant, like a memory. Nothing sharp, nothing demanding. Only the soft background of a gentle evening. Between those sounds, there is a hush. A small space of silence that opens, warm, safe, like a quiet pool of still water in the middle of a calm garden. Awareness can rest there for a moment, in that gap between sounds, in that soft pause where nothing needs to happen, just listening, just being. Steam curls up again from the tea, slow silver folds in the dimness, rising, bending, unwinding into nothing. Each wisp appears, lingers, and then is gone, like a soft exhale from the cup itself. Eyes can grow heavy watching it, the way it hesitates and then drifts away. It invites the mind to do the same, to soften its grip on each thought, to let each idea form, linger for a moment, then thin out and float away. Breath follows a similar pattern. In, out, warm air entering, cooler air leaving. A calm tide at the edge of sleep. Every inhale gathers a little comfort. Every exhale releases a little more of the day. The scent grows rounder, softer. It is everywhere now. In the air in front of you, above the cup, around your face and shoulders, cradling you in quiet warmth. With every slow sip, that warmth seems to spread, gliding down through the chest, unfolding through the belly, a gentle heat that encourages everything inside to loosen, to untie itself, to take up a little more space without effort. Thoughts may still appear, the way a curl of steam appears. They rise, they show a little shape, and then they thin and drift away. You do not have to follow them. You can simply watch them come and go, light, insistent on nothing. Somewhere, a chair settles with a soft, low creak. Porcelain touches wood with a distant, delicate sound. Then quiet again. The silence that follows is deep and kind, like a blanket of night air settling over a still street. In that silence, the soft sounds of your own breathing stand out a little more. The air moving through your nose, the faint sound of each exhale slipping past your lips. Slower now, longer, gently stretching out, the way steam stretches as it rises and disappears. Each breath blends with the warm scent in the air. Breathing in, you draw in comfort and calm. Breathing out, you spread that warmth around you. The whole space seems to grow softer with each easy cycle. The edges of the room feel hazy now, not so sharply defined, more like a quiet suggestion of walls and floor and ceiling. What feels real and close is much simpler. The cup, the steam, the warmth, the scent that wraps around you, soft and steady. Attention can grow heavy and light at the same time. Heavy as it sinks deeper into this moment. Light as it no longer clings to anything in particular. Not the past, not the future, only this slow breath, this gentle warmth, this silent rising of steam. The air is dim and calm. Shadows rest quietly in the corners. Time moves in long, soft lines rather than in sharp seconds. Each moment stretches a little, so there is space to linger, to hover gently like steam above the surface of the tea. Silence grows thicker, but never lonely. It feels like good company, soft and understanding. It holds the small, familiar sounds of the room, the way a cupped hand holds water. Nothing spills. Nothing is rushed. You might notice the quiet hum of life around you, the faintest shift of air, a distant, muffled step on a wooden floor. They all arrive from far away, then fade back into the background. The silence that returns after each one is like a warm pool where the mind can rest. Breath drifts lower and slower in the body. The chest lifts just enough. The belly softens as the air moves in and out. Each exhale seems to carry you a little deeper into ease. A gentle sinking, like settling into the softest pillow. Steam continues its quiet, unhurried dance. Sometimes a thicker thread, sometimes just a faint veil. Always rising, always disappearing into the air above the cup. Never trying, simply following its own calm nature. The mind can copy that ease. No need to push thoughts away. They can move like steam, rising and fading on their own. You watch from a little distance, peaceful, uninvolved, safe inside this warm, scented cocoon of air. The tea house feels far away and close at the same time. Far, in that any movement or talk seems softened, almost dreamlike. Close, in the way its warmth and shelter surround you like a gentle embrace. You are held in the middle of both, protected, unbothered. Breathing in, there is warmth and scent. Breathing out, there is softness and release. In, out, like the tide, like a lullaby made of air and heat and silence. Eyes may feel heavy now, as if the steam itself has wrapped around them. Lids sinking or already closed, resting in the dim hush. Behind them, the mind drifts in a soft, hazy glow. Not fully here, not fully away, floating somewhere in between. The space between thoughts stretches wider, more time between each one, more gentle quiet. That quiet feels like a safe little harbour, a place where nothing is asked of you, where it is enough just to breathe and rest. Steam rises once more, then less, then only a faint shimmer above the tea. The scent remains, warm, comforting, a soft, invisible blanket around you. Silence settles in layers, over the room, over the cup, over your body. Each layer is warm, like a quilt of calm. Each one invites you to sink just a touch deeper. Breath moves slowly, in easy waves. Mind drifting, body resting. Steam, scent and silence blending into one gentle backdrop, holding you in a cloud of quiet warmth, where everything can simply be very, very still. Outside, the evening is growing softer. The last of the daylight has slipped away, and the tea house is held in a calm, quiet glow. The air feels still, almost expectant, as if the world is taking a slow, gentle breath. Somewhere in that stillness, the first sound arrives, a single, light tap above, then another, a small, delicate note on the roof, so soft it could almost be imagined. The sound pauses, as if considering, then returns. One drop, then two, then three. Tiny, scattered taps on wood and tile, spaced out like a few careful steps across a silent floor. The air has changed, just a little, carrying the faint, cool scent of rain beginning. The inside of the tea house remains warm and steady. Cups rest where they were placed. The quiet comfort of the room holds its shape. Only now it is wrapped in something new, a light and gentle pattern of sound drifting in from above. More drops gather on the roof. They land with soft, hollow touches, scattered at first, then a little closer together. The rhythm is unhurried, simple, easy to follow without trying. Like a hand moving slowly back and forth, soothing, repeating, familiar. Now the rain begins to find its own steady pace. The gaps between the taps grow shorter. The notes blur together into a soft, constant murmur, a curtain of sound hanging over the tea house. It is not loud, not sharp, just present, like a lullaby played very low. You are sheltered beneath it all, held inside these walls, inside this glow, while the sky gently opens outside. The roof catches each drop for you, turning the movement of the storm into music. You do not need to go anywhere. Everything you need is already here. Listen to the way the rain settles into its pattern, a light drumming against the tiles, a soft patter as it runs along the wooden eaves. Farther away, a faint, muffled sound as water reaches the ground, as if the earth is quietly welcoming it. The world beyond the tea house begins to blur. Paths and stones and garden leaves grow darker, glistening, then disappear into the soft silver curtain of falling water. Out there, everything is cool and wet and shifting. In here, everything is warm, still and clear. The glass of the window feels like a gentle boundary. On one side, cool night air, damp earth, quiet rain. On the other, the slow comfort of the room, the steady warmth that surrounds your body. You are safely on the warm side, watching the weather move and breathe without needing to move at all. The sound on the roof deepens just a little. Drops gather into small streams, sliding down, meeting, parting, finding their own quiet paths. The rhythm changes in tiny ways, never startling, only flowing. Sometimes fuller, sometimes lighter, always soothing. Each new pattern of taps and trickles invites your mind to soften. Thoughts that once felt sharp and busy begin to round at the edges. They drift in and out with the same gentle pace as the rain, arriving, then washing away. Nothing needs to be held onto. Nothing needs to be solved. Notice how the body responds to this sheltering sound. Muscles that were gently holding on start to loosen without effort. The shoulders settle a little heavier. The jaw softens. Breath moves in and out in a calm, even wave, matching the quiet rise and fall of the rain. The tea house itself seems to breathe along with you. Wooden beams creak softly as they rest. Floorboards feel steady and grounded beneath, as if holding you with patient care. All around, the walls stand between you and the cool night, calm and unmoving, while the rain dances just beyond. From time to time, the pattern changes. A brief, slightly stronger burst across the roof. A sudden cluster of drops along the eaves, like a handful of tiny beads scattered on a table. Then, gently, It eases again, settling back into a soft, quiet fall. Notice how even these small changes feel comforting. The rain is alive, but never demanding. It simply continues, steady and sure, giving you something constant to rest your awareness upon. Every sound reminds you that you are inside, dry and at ease. The air in the room feels cozier now. The warmth is deeper, more noticeable, because the world outside has grown cooler. It is like sitting close to a small fire while hearing the wind move through distant trees. That contrast makes the comfort clearer, more complete. You are wrapped in layers of safety, the roof catching each drop, the walls holding back the chill, the soft cushions beneath you, the gentle fabric against your skin, the steady support of the seat or bed where you rest. All of it working quietly together so you do not have to. Beyond the tea house, the night is being washed clean. Dust is lifted from leaves and stones. Paths are rinsed. The garden soil drinks in the water, growing darker, richer and calmer with each passing minute. Even the air itself is being renewed. You are close enough to sense this change, but far enough to stay untouched by it. You hear the rain, you feel its presence, and yet you remain warm, dry, and perfectly still, held in a circle of gentle light and quiet. As the rhythm continues, time begins to blur. Moments flow into one another, just as drops join into tiny streams along the roof. The mind can simply float here, carried by the sound, without needing to keep track of anything at all. Nothing is urgent. Nothing is missing. Each breath becomes slower, deeper, softer, in and out, in and out. The rain keeps its own soft beat above, and your breathing finds an easy harmony with it. The two rhythms meet and merge, like two calm waves moving together across a quiet lake. If any stray thought rises, the rain is there to meet it. It touches the thought like water touching a small leaf, then carries it away, gently, without force. Again and again, the mind is invited back to this simple, soothing sound, back to the feeling of being protected and cared for. Inside this tea house, nothing is asked of you. You do not need to speak. You do not need to decide. You are allowed to simply be here, listening, resting, breathing, while the rain keeps watch outside. The night deepens. The world beyond grows quieter still, as other sounds soften and fade beneath the steady patter on the roof. It is as if the rain has become a soft blanket of sound, tucking the tea house in, folding it gently into the heart of the evening. You are tucked in with it, wrapped not only in fabric and warmth, but in the steady comfort of this gentle storm. Each drop is a small reminder that you are safe. Each quiet tap and murmur on the roof says the same thing, over and over in its own soft language. Warmth around you, softness beneath you, cool cleansing rain outside, A roof between you and the sky, strong and sure. Nothing can hurry you here. Nothing can disturb this quiet shelter. Allow yourself to sink a little deeper into this moment, into the cushion, into the mattress, into the embrace of the space that holds you. The rain will continue its slow, tender song above, whether you follow every note or simply drift away. If the eyes grow heavier, that is all right. If the body feels looser, heavier, easier, that is all right too. The rain keeps falling in its gentle way, smoothing the edges of the day, carrying you further into rest. Above, the soft tapping goes on. A calm, repeating lullaby from the sky to the roof, from the roof to your waiting ears. Inside, everything is quiet, everything is kind, everything is ready for sleep. And as the patter of rain wraps the tea house in its tender rhythm, you are held even more deeply, as if the sound itself is a blanket, drawing close around you, and the night is gently humming you toward a peaceful, drifting silence. The tea around you is warm and steady. The air is calm and dim. The world has grown very quiet, yet not quite empty. Somewhere nearby, a chair moves the smallest bit. Wood touches wood with a soft sigh. It is not sharp or jarring, just a gentle shift of weight in the room, like a slow breath being taken. You are not alone here. Others are sharing this same soft light, this same easy evening. They are close enough to feel real, yet far enough to leave your quiet untouched. Their presence is like a low, steady hum beneath the stillness. From across the room, a cup meets a saucer with a faint, delicate clink. The sound is light and distant. By the time the ear catches it, it is almost already gone. Like a tiny ring spreading across the surface of a pond, then settling again. Soft footsteps cross the wooden floor, not rushed, not loud, just an easy, unhurried walk, soles touching and lifting in a gentle, steady rhythm. You can almost feel the smooth boards under those steps, the faint whisper of fabric moving with the body, a sleeve brushing past a table edge, the light, careful movement of someone who knows this place well. The server moves with quiet grace, hands practiced and sure, knowing just where everything belongs. A tray is set down somewhere, so carefully that it makes almost no sound at all. Just a soft, muted note of wood meeting wood, and then stillness again. Voices float at the edge of hearing, low, slow, and blurred by distance. You cannot make out any words, and you do not need to. They are simply a gentle murmur, thin and smooth like steam in cool air. The sound of these quiet conversations rises and falls. A few syllables lift, then fade away. Sometimes a soft chuckle stirs the air, warm and brief. Then everything settles back into soft, shared silence. In this room, everyone seems to move a little slower. No one is in a hurry, No one asks anything of you. Each person is wrapped in their own calm, the way you are wrapped in yours. It feels as though each table holds a small private world, a world of thoughts and pauses and slow breathing. These worlds do not collide. They simply sit side by side, gently glowing in the same pool of quiet. From somewhere behind you, the rustle of a page turning drifts by. Paper moves against paper, then rests. Whoever holds that book does so softly, with tenderness for the silence. Their attention is calm, their body still. At another table, someone shifts in their seat. A soft creak of wood answers. Then the movement stops, and the chair grows quiet again. Even these small sounds seem to deepen the peacefulness instead of breaking it. Every little noise in this tea house feels cushioned. Footsteps arrive wrapped in softness. Cups touch down as if the air itself is helping to receive them. Even the whispers between people are slow and gentle, respectful of the hush all around. You are a part of this hush. You share the same roof, the same evening, the same warm air. Yet you are completely free to rest inside your own space. No one is looking at you. No one needs anything from you. It is enough just to be here. To let these quiet signs of other lives drift softly past the edges of awareness. They brush by like distant waves on a shore far away, steady, repeating, soothing. When the door opens, it does so slowly. A faint coolness slips in, then is warmed by the inside air. The soft scrape of the door, the almost silent step over the threshold. Then it closes again, and the room holds its warmth a little closer. A new pair of footsteps moves carefully across the floor. They pause, then start again, guided to a seat by the gentle presence of the server. The murmur of a greeting, the quiet thrum of another person settling into the calm. In this place, even arrivals and departures are tender. When someone rises to leave, their chair slides back with care. Fabric moves, a bag is lifted, a coat sleeve brushes the back of a chair. The soft patter of a few steps, and then the hush returns to its even level once more. The room seems to breathe with all these small movements. Inhale as someone lifts their cup. Exhale as they place it down again with that tiny ringing note of porcelain. Inhale as a whispered phrase rises. Exhale as silence settles over it, warm and deep. You are held gently inside this shared breathing, safe within your own quiet, yet surrounded by the soft outline of other hearts nearby. Everyone here has brought their day to this same resting place. Each person has set down something heavy, even if no one else can see it. Some have come with thoughts turning slowly in their minds. Some with tired bodies needing warmth. Some with quiet joys they do not need to name. All of them have chosen this soft light, this easy stillness, this moment of pause. Without looking, you can feel the shapes of these quiet companions. a figure leaning slightly forward over a cup, another resting back against a chair, shoulders lowering by the minute, hands wrapped around warm porcelain, fingers loose, no longer holding on so tightly. The low murmur at the edge of hearing is soothing now. Like a gentle river, it flows around you, but does not touch you. You are simply resting on the bank, watching the water drift by. You do not have to enter it. You can simply let it move while you stay soft and still. In this shared peacefulness, your own body seems to soften even more. Muscles release a little extra tension. Breath moves in and out a bit more easily. The mind feels less separate, less alone, yet not crowded in any way. You belong here, just as you are, just as you feel right now. Nothing needs to be different. No words need to be spoken to prove your place in this room. Your quiet presence is more than enough. Around you, others are also resting in their own way. The one turning pages, the one staring softly into the middle distance, the one with closed eyes, simply feeling the warmth of their drink in their hands. You do not need to see them or know their stories. It is enough to feel the gentle truth that they are here, that they are breathing the same calm air, that they too have chosen ease over effort, stillness over hurry for this little while. Time in this room does not rush. It lengthens like a slow evening sky. Moments stretch out, thin and soft, giving space for rest to deepen. Each small sound appears, then dissolves harmlessly into the quiet. Footsteps soften, voices sink even lower. The clink of cups grows less frequent, more spaced out, like sleepy blinks. The whole tea house seems to be settling into a deeper, quieter layer of calm. Here, in this gentle company, you are free to drift inward. Thoughts can move to the background, like those distant voices. Breath can become the softest rhythm, rising and falling without effort. Your awareness can rest, unguarded and easy. The warm presence of others holds the space like a loose, comforting blanket. Not tight, not heavy, just a light cover that lets you know you are surrounded by peace, alone and yet kindly accompanied. The sounds continue, but more slowly now. A final sip taken. A last small clink of porcelain. A chair shifting once, then becoming still. The room settles deeper into its own quiet heart. Soft, shared, and spacious. You rest in the middle of it all, safe in your own cocoon of ease, gently held by both solitude and silent company. Drifting on this calm, shared silence as the evening grows ever more peaceful, ever more still. The room has grown even quieter now. Even the soft sounds of the tea house seem to have stepped back a little, leaving a gentle hush around this small, safe corner. Near you, a single candle burns. Its flame is small and steady, wrapped in a warm circle of light. The air is calm, almost still, yet the flame moves in slow, delicate motions, as if it is breathing its own quiet breath. The light falls around the room in a soft golden pool. Edges blur, lines soften, and the colours of the evening melt into one another. The world feels slower here, drawn into the rhythm of that tiny, living glow. Watch the flame for a moment in your mind. See how it leans to one side, then gently lifts again, like a tiny dancer in the soft air. It sways and gathers itself, never harsh, never rushed, always returning to the center. Each time the flame moves, shadows shift along the walls and floor. They stretch and curl, growing longer, then shorter, like a tide flowing in and out. Surfaces that were flat in daylight now seem deeper, softer, carrying quiet pools of darkness and calm. On the wall, a shadow of the candle holder reaches out, thin and gentle, then pulls back as the flame sways. The movement is slow and repeating, over and over, a simple pattern that asks for nothing at all. Watching it, the mind begins to loosen, just a little, as if the busy edges of thought are being smoothed away by the moving light. The table beside you holds a faint shine where the candlelight rests. The wood glows with a soft warmth. Grains and little marks catching the light, then falling back into shade. The light glides over the surface like a small, quiet river, flowing from one side to the other whenever the flame leans. Every tiny motion of the flame sends a new ripple of light around the room. Shadows under the chairs shift, the corners gently breathe in and out with darkness and glow. Nothing is sudden, nothing is sharp. Just a slow, repeating play of light and shade, like the room itself is dreaming. Notice how time begins to soften here. Moments seem to stretch, like the shadows along the floor. The past and the next minute feel far away, and only this quiet dance of candlelight really matters. The flame bends, then stands tall again, gathering itself into a bright, calm point. At times, it flickers as if it might wander, then steadies, holding its place with quiet strength. That gentle pattern, wandering a little, then returning, wandering again, then returning, invites your thoughts to follow, and then to slow, and then to rest. As your attention lingers on the light, the rest of the room grows softer. Details fade into suggestion. The exact shapes of objects are no longer important, only how the light touches them, how the darkness gathers behind them, how everything is held together in this warm, quiet glow. Shadows near your resting place lengthen like long exhalations. They slide across the floor, thin and velvety, until they meet other shadows and blend without a line. The edges of the room grow hazy and gentle, as if they are drifting a little farther away with each slow breath. The moving light feels almost like a slow lullaby for the eyes. Each small sway of the flame draws the gaze, then releases it and draws it again, over and over in the same easy rhythm. This simple movement gives the mind something soft to follow, something that does not demand, does not pull, just flows. As the candle burns, the circle of light seems to grow even warmer. The air holds a faint scent of melted wax, clean and quiet. It mixes with the fading trace of tea, with the wooden calm of the room, and together they create a gentle cocoon around you. Outside this small space, the world continues. But here, in the candle's reach, everything has slowed. Thoughts that were sharp now feel rounded at the edges. Ideas that were bright and restless become dimmer, like distant shapes slipping into shadow. If any thought appears, it can be watched the way you watch the flame. It rises, moves a little, and then settles back down. There is no need to hold it, no need to push it away. Just let it drift through the soft light and dissolve into the darker corners of the room. The walls around you seem farther now, as though the candle has drawn the space closer to your resting place and pushed everything else gently back. You are in the center of this pool of light, floating on its glow, while the shadows form a quiet shore around you. Notice how the shadows move in slow patterns you could almost predict. A little to the left as the flame leans, a little to the right as it steadies again. This simple, repeating rhythm creates its own kind of calm, like a very slow rocking that you feel more in your mind than in your body. Your eyes, whether open or only imagining, grow heavier with each swing of the light. The effort of watching fades. Instead, there is just a sense of being softly carried by the movement, as if you are drifting at the same easy pace as the flame itself. The ceiling above holds faint shadows, like soft brush strokes of grey. They shift almost without being seen, more felt than noticed, a quiet reminder that everything here is moving slowly, gently, never fully still. This constant, gentle motion allows any tightness inside to unwind, one soft turn at a time. The longer you stay with the candle, the less the mind tries to name things. Chair, table, wall. All of these words fall away, leaving only warmth and dimness, light and shadow, breathing together. The candlelight seems to understand that the day has been long. It does not ask for focus. It simply offers a safe, simple thing to follow, until even that following becomes too much, and you are just resting, wrapped in glow and darkness. Now, thoughts drift in and out, like shadows passing in front of the flame. They appear, stretch briefly across the mind, and then slip away into the edges of the room. No thought stays long enough to disturb the calm. Everything moves on, like the flame moving, and steadies and moving again. The border between what is lit and what is dark grows softer. Lines blur. Your sense of where you end, and the room begins gently loosens, as if you, too, are beginning to sway like the light, to stretch like the shadows. In this quiet tea house evening, you have become part of the slow pattern on the walls, part of the drifting shapes on the floor. Your presence blends with the soft, lengthening shadows, with the warm, steady glow, until everything feels like one easy, breathing whole. Each breath is like the flame's slow dance. In, and the light gathers, out, and the shadows stretch. In, and the mind brightens for a moment. Out, and it softens again, sinking deeper into rest. Soon the details of the room fade almost completely. Only the sense of gentle motion remains, like being rocked by a calm, distant tide. The candle, the walls, the floor, the chairs, all drift to the edges of awareness, dim and peaceful. What stays is the feeling of warmth and safety, the soft pull towards sleep, growing stronger with each quiet flicker, as if the light itself is kindly guiding you into deeper darkness, into softer thoughts, into a place where nothing is needed and nothing is urgent. The flame continues its slow, easy sway. Shadows continue to lengthen and soften, and you continue to drift with them, lighter with every moment, thoughts fading like the edges of the room, until only calm remains, quiet and deep, settling into silence. The room is quiet now. The evening has grown soft around the edges. Shadows have settled into the corners, and the light that remains feels gentle and kind. The cup rests in warm hands. Not hot anymore, just a steady, fading warmth that fits easily against the palms. Fingers curl around the smooth surface, feeling where it is still warm and where it has already cooled. The tea has lowered in the cup. Only a small amount remains. It moves slowly when the cup is tilted, a quiet little pool that catches a trace of light. The last sips are waiting, unhurried, with nowhere else to be. Breath moves in and out, calm and steady. In this moment, nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be fixed or changed. Just the weight of the cup, the drift of the breath, and the sense of being gently held by the softness of the room. The rim of the cup touches the lips again. The tea is cooler now. No sharp heat, no steam, just a mild, comforting warmth. It slides across the tongue with a softer taste, like a memory of the flavor that was stronger before. This sip takes its time. It does not have to be finished quickly. The tea rests for a second in the mouth, quiet and easy, before it is swallowed. A faint warmth moves down the throat, a slow, relaxed line of comfort that fades into the chest. The cup lowers again. Hands feel how much lighter it has become. At the beginning, it carried more weight, more warmth, more energy. Now it feels almost hollow, like a small shell holding the last gentle trace of the evening's ritual. Outside, the world feels far away. Any distant sounds that might exist blur together into a soft, harmless hush. Inside, everything narrows to these small details. The curve of the cup, the quiet hum of the body letting go of the day. With each slow breath, the thought of being awake begins to loosen. The tea has done its quiet work. The body has taken in its warmth and its comfort. Now only these last sips remain, like the final words of a kind conversation. Another sip rises. The cup turns, and the last little pool of tea flows toward the rim. This time, The flavor is lighter, almost delicate. The strongest notes have gone, leaving behind something soft and easy, like a gentle echo. As this sip is swallowed, the aftertaste lingers. It spreads gently along the tongue, a faint sweetness, or maybe a tiny hint of earth, depending on the tea that was chosen. Whatever it is, it feels familiar now, safe, reassuring. The warmth in the hands has faded a little more. Some parts of the cup feel almost cool. Hands can explore these differences, noticing how one side still holds a trace of heat, while another side feels smooth and cool against the skin. This shifting warmth mirrors the way the day itself is cooling, settling, growing quieter. Awareness drifts through the body. The shoulders are lower than before. The jaw feels softer, the tongue resting gently in the mouth. The muscles around the eyes have loosened, no longer holding on to focus or effort. It can feel surprisingly peaceful to reach the end of something small. A cup of tea is a simple thing, but it has given a sense of company and comfort. Now, as it nears its end, there is no rush, no feeling of loss. Only a slow, contented understanding that this little moment has been fully lived. The cup lifts again. Perhaps just one or two sips remain now. The liquid swirls with a quiet, muted sound, barely heard, more felt than listened to. The rim brushes the lips once more, like a soft, familiar gesture. This sip is drawn in even more slowly. Time stretches around it. The world narrows to the taste, the temperature, the gentle motion of swallowing. Each tiny detail is allowed to be felt, then to drift away. And then another breath. The air enters cool and leaves a little warmer. The body feels heavier against the cushions or the bed, supported from underneath, safe and stable. The spine relaxes, each vertebra settling a little more. The tea has almost gone. When the cup is tilted now, only a faint, shy movement can be heard and felt. Hands sense how light it is, how easy it would be to forget it is even there. The weight of the day feels heavier than the cup now, but that weight is beginning to melt away as well. A small pause before the last sip. In this stillness, there is a gentle recognition of endings. Not with sadness, just with a kind of quiet respect. Everything begins. Everything comes to a close. Even a warm drink held in tender hands. The last sip is taken. It touches the lips with a familiar comfort, no surprise, no sharpness, simply the softest version of the flavor that has been slowly fading all evening. It reaches the throat, slides down, and then it is gone. For a moment after, the mouth is empty. Only the mild afterglow of taste remains. It rests on the tongue, then thins and spreads until it is hardly there at all. Just a memory of warmth, a whisper of sweetness or spice. The cup is truly empty now. Hands tilted gently, noticing the hollow, soundless space inside. No more liquid moves, no more warmth to drink. Only the smooth curve of ceramic and the faint warmth that clings to it a little longer. Holding the empty cup brings its own kind of comfort. It has shared all it had to give. It asked for nothing in return. Now it rests quietly, light and peaceful, like a small shell washed clean by a slow tide. The body understands this simple ending. The mind recognizes the softness of it. Nothing dramatic has happened. Nothing has been taken away. Something has simply been used, enjoyed, and gently completed. Fingers uncurl a little, loosening their grip. The hands can feel how easy it would be to set the cup down now. There is no need to hold on tightly. The tea has already done its work, soothing from the inside, making space for rest. Breath flows in, long and quiet. Breath flows out, even slower. With every exhale, a little more of the day slips away. Thoughts that once felt busy now move more slowly, like leaves drifting on calm water. The cup moves down, guided by relaxed hands. It finds a resting place, perhaps on a table, perhaps close by. The gentle sound of it meeting the surface is soft and small. The moment of release is subtle, yet meaningful. Hands are now free. They can rest where they are most comfortable. On the lap, by the sides, or folded loosely against the body. The skin still remembers the warmth of the cup, even though it is no longer being held. With the cup set down, the body sinks a little more into the cushions beneath. The support feels deeper now, more noticeable. The muscles no longer need to hold anything. They can simply let go, unwinding slowly and naturally. Eyes feel heavier. If they are still open, they may drift toward closing or simply half close, soft and unfocused. The world beyond this quiet room fades further into the background, like a picture slowly dimming. Inside, there is only comfort, warmth, and the slow rhythm of the breath. The ending of the tea is like a small doorway into rest. One simple thing has been finished. That completion sends a quiet message through the body. It says that it is safe to stop now, safe to release the day. Thoughts may still come and go, but they do not need attention. They are like faint voices in another room, gentle and unimportant. Awareness rests closer to the weight of the limbs, the softness of the pillow, the easy rise and fall of the chest. In this calm place, letting go feels natural as placing the empty cup down, as natural as an exhale that leaves the body warm and loose. Nothing is forced. Everything is allowed to happen in its own slow, kind time. The evening has grown very quiet now. The traces of tea within the body glow like a soft ember, barely there, yet comforting. The mind, no longer holding on to the day, begins to drift toward the edges of sleep. Not pushing, not reaching, just drifting. Here, at the end of this small ceremony, fullness and emptiness feel the same. The empty cup, the full sense of calm. Both resting side by side in the stillness of the room. Breath continues, soft and steady. The body feels heavy and safe. The mind can wander now, slowly, gently, into places that do not need words. Everything needed has already been received. Now, there is only this quiet, this softness, this slow, deepening peace spreading through every part of you. As the night opens wide and welcomes you into its quiet, restful darkness. Night has come so quietly that it almost feels like it has been here all along. The tea house seems smaller now, softer at the edges as the last traces of daylight slip away. Shadows have grown gentle and deep, pooling in the corners, rounding every line, every surface. The air feels warmer, stiller, as if it too is settling down for sleep. The lantern light has dimmed to a low golden glow. Flames burn smaller, quieter, as though they are whispering themselves to rest. Light no longer reaches every corner of the room. Some places are just soft darkness now, comforting and calm. Outside, the rain has eased. What was once a steady pattern is now only a faint murmur on the roof. Just a soft brushing sound now and then, like someone smoothing a blanket. The world beyond these walls feels very far away. Inside, everything is slow. Every movement, every breath has become unhurried. The tea has cooled, the cup perhaps set aside, hands resting more heavily in the lap. Muscles that were holding, even just a little, are beginning to let go. Notice how the body feels a touch heavier now, as if the floor or the cushion beneath is gently, silently drawing you down. The spine softens, the shoulders ease, the neck no longer trying to hold anything up. The weight of the day is slipping away piece by piece. The lantern wicks are lowered just a little more. Light thins, softens, like mist fading into the night. Shadows stretch themselves wider along the walls and floor. The room is no longer lit. It is only gently suggested by the remaining glow. All sharpness is gone. Edges blur, details fade. Nothing demands attention. Even the grain of the wood seems to dissolve into a soft, dark warmth. It feels safe to sink into this dimness, to be held by it. The sounds of the tea house have grown very quiet. No clinking of cups now, no rustle of fabric, only the quiet hush of breathing and the faintest whisper of rain far above. Silence here is not empty. It is full of ease. In this dim light, thoughts begin to slow. Ideas that once seemed bright and busy are now distant, unimportant. They drift past like small boats on a dark, calm river, moving away without effort. There is nothing to follow, nothing to fix, nothing to solve. Each breath begins to lengthen on its own, in and out, like a gentle tide touching the shore and then retreating. The chest rises softly, falls softly, with no need to change or manage anything. Breath is simply happening, and that is enough. The darkness in the corners feels deeper now, thicker, almost velvety. It is not a cold darkness, but a warm, protective one. A darkness that closes the door on the outside world and wraps the room in quiet. A darkness that says everything can rest now. If any sounds drift in from far beyond these walls, they arrive softened. A distant car, a voice, a faint creak somewhere in the building. Each one is wrapped in night, padded and gentle, already fading as it appears. Nothing sharp, nothing urgent, only remote echoes that cannot reach you here. The body is heavier still, like a stone at the bottom of a clear pond, settled and undisturbed. Arms and legs no longer want to move. They are content exactly where they are. Even the smallest muscles around the eyes, the jaw, the forehead, grow quiet and loose. The last lantern may be lowered now, almost to the end of its wick, flame shrinking, folding in on itself. The room falls into a deeper shade of dusk, almost night within night. Only the memory of light seems to remain, a soft glow behind closed eyes. In this soft, almost dark, imagination begins to blur. Shapes lose their borders, colors melt into each other. What was once the clear outline of a table, a cup, a door, is now just a sense of space, a gentle awareness that you are here and that here is safe. Thoughts might appear and fade mid-sentence now. A memory, a plan, a stray idea that unravels before it finishes. Like writing in sand, washed smooth by the slow tide of sleepiness. Nothing needs to be held onto. Everything can be let go. The sound of rain is barely there. Maybe only a soft, far-off hush, like someone breathing at a distance. Sometimes it seems to disappear entirely, leaving only the vast, soothing quiet. Silence settles over the roof and down along the walls like a blanket. Inside, the warmth of the room lingers. A gentle, steady warmth that does not ask for attention. It simply holds you like a safe cocoon where the night can deepen. The air feels thick with peace, with softness, with rest. The sense of time fades a little. It is no longer evening or late or almost anything. It is just now, and now is slow and dark and kind. Minutes drift by like leaves on a dark stream, unnoticed and unimportant. Every part of the body knows what to do. It knows how to sink, how to release, how to drift away from the surface of wakefulness. Eyes feel heavy, even if they are already closed, as though sinking into their own soft darkness. The mind follows, deeper and quieter with every breath. If any final bits of tension remain, they are small and tired. They do not need to be pushed away. They can simply grow dull and loose, melting into the cushion, into the floor, into the deep night of the tea house. Even effort itself can rest. The room has almost disappeared now. Only a gentle sense of being held remains. The memory of wood under you, the faint scent of tea, the echo of rain that may or may not still be falling. Everything else has slipped into shadow. Breath continues, slow and easy, in and out, each exhale carrying you a little farther from the bright world of the day, each inhale touching you with quiet comfort. Nothing to guide, nothing to manage, only this smooth, unbroken rhythm. The darkness around you and within you is friendly now. It does not hide anything you need. It simply closes the eyes of the day. Like a curtain gently drawn across a window, leaving the world outside to take care of itself. Inside, there is only rest. If sleep has not already begun to take you, it is very close. Hovering at the edge of awareness, soft and patient and sure. Thoughts are faint like distant lanterns across a field at night. Soon they will disappear completely into the velvet dark. Nothing more is needed. The tea house, the night, the quiet, all are here to watch over you. You are allowed to drift, to float, to sink, in whatever way feels most natural. You are allowed to let everything go. The last of the light folds itself into the shadows. The room, the rain, the day, all fade into a single, deep stillness. Warm, dark, safe. And in that softness, you can simply rest, and rest, and rest. The evening is soft now, quiet and unhurried. Everything has slowed to a gentle, dreamy pace. The tea has grown warm in the memory, like a small, steady light tucked safely inside. The air is calm. The body is heavier, comfortable, and loose. The tea house rests somewhere behind you, now not gone, just distant and dim like a lantern seen through a light mist. You still feel the warmth of it. You still feel the kindness of that space. Notice how the softness of that place lingers, in the breath, in the shoulders, in the face, in the quiet that has gathered all around. The wooden table, the gentle clink of cups, the faint fragrance of tea and wood, and evening. They are all beginning to blur at the edges. Not lost, just gently fading, becoming light, becoming simple. You do not need to hold on to any details. They can drift as they wish. The tea house knows the way back to you whenever you want it. For now, it is safe to let it soften. Safe to let it float away on a slow, calm tide of rest. Feel how the body is supported, completely held. Nothing is asked of you. Nothing is needed. Just this easy breathing, in and out, like a quiet wave on a very still shore. The cushion under you, or the bed beneath you, meets every curve, every weight without any effort from you at all. You are allowed to sink a little deeper into that support, to let the muscles fall open, to let the jaw loosen, to let the forehead smooth. Somewhere far in the background, the soft glow of the tea house still shines, but it feels more like a feeling now than a place, a gentle warmth in the center of your chest, a calm, easy presence that says, you are safe, You are welcome. You can rest. Breath moves slowly through you, like steam rising from a quiet cup. Light, unhurried, going where it needs to go, leaving warmth behind. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just the simple rhythm of air, sliding in, drifting out. Thoughts may pass through as softly as footsteps in another room. They do not need attention. They do not need answers. They can wander where they wish while you stay here close to this deep, gentle ease. If a thought tugs at you, you can nod to it kindly and let it move along like watching a leaf float down a slow river. Your attention returns without effort to the warmth in your body, to the quiet inside your chest, to the way your whole self feels heavier and softer right now. The tea house door that once stood open is no longer made of wood and paper. It has become a soft doorway of feeling, of calm, of trust. You carry it within you without needing to picture it. It is simply here as a gentle knowing that you are held. Surrounded by this softness, time loosens its grip. There is no schedule to keep, no next thing to prepare for. Only this long, slow moment. Stretching out in all directions, quiet and safe. If sleep is near, it can come like a slow fog rolling in, thick and comforting. You do not have to reach for it. You do not have to try. Sleep knows how to find a resting body that feels this calm, this at ease. And if sleep is not ready yet, that is perfectly fine. You can simply float here, awake but deeply restful, wrapped in the same soft warmth that filled the tea house air. There is nothing wrong with being awake. There is nothing wrong with drifting, hovering gently between waking and dreams. The edges of your body may feel less clear now. The hands softer, almost weightless. The legs heavy, melting into where they rest. Even the thoughts feel slower, like they are wrapped in cotton, muffled and kind. You might notice small waves of release, moving through you. A sigh in the chest, a settling in the stomach, a small shift of the head or neck. That brings a better, easier position. Every tiny adjustment is allowed. Every small movement is part of relaxing. Gratitude moves quietly through this stillness, not as words, but as a soft glow. Gratitude for your body, for showing up, for carrying you through so many days. Gratitude for the simple comfort of rest, for warmth, for safety, for the chance to pause. You do not need to say thank you out loud. You do not need to think it in sentences. The feeling itself is enough. A gentle, wordless thank you that spreads like warmth from the center. Out to the fingers, out to the toes, out beyond the skin, into the quiet around you. Any last bits of tension that might still be hanging on can slowly unhook themselves now. They have nothing to do. They have nowhere to go. They can simply slip away like a coat sliding from your shoulders, leaving you lighter, freer, more at ease. If images return of the tea house, the soft light, the calm table, the peaceful room, let them come and go as they wish. They are like clouds in a gentle sky, never needing to be held in place. You are the wide, quiet space in which they drift. Here, In this quiet, the mind can rest, the heart can rest, the body can rest. Everything that needed to be done is done enough for now. Everything that has not yet been done can wait. Stay as you are, no need to change a thing. Breathing softly, resting deeply, allowing this sense of calm to wrap around you like a warm blanket tucked just right, neither too tight nor too loose. You may feel as though you are floating a little, not up, not down, just gently suspended in comfort. Here, there is nothing to hold on to and nothing to lose. Only this gentle, endless ease. Remain in this feeling for as long as you wish. No rush to leave, no need to move on. The warmth of the tea house, the peace of this evening, the softness in your body and breath, all of it is yours to keep. Let the words fade now like the last quiet notes of a familiar song. Only stillness remains, only calm, only the soft rhythm of your own breath carrying you deeper and deeper into rest.